My name is Rufus Alias Victor. I'm a veteran, an evocatus, and I spend a lot of time recruiting young children into the Roman army on their school visits to Vercovicium, the Roman fort of Housesteads on Hadrian's wall. Hadrian ordered the building of a wall in northern Britain to separate the Roman Empire from the barbarians, and work started in about AD 122. They put forts along the wall. A number of soldiers would be stationed along the wall to garrison it, so that at any time there would be possibly tens of thousands of men living on Hadrian's wall, patrolling it and marking it as a frontier. The south gate would probably be the main entrance to the fort. In Roman times, it would be a big double gateway. There'd be two gates, probably towers, and it might be as much as 3 stories high. If you've ever seen a picture of Roman latrines drawn in a school book, it was probably modelled on the one at Housesteads. There are no cubicles, so the Roman soldiers would sit shoulder to shoulder on wooden benches with holes underneath where everything would fall through to be washed away to the outside of the fort. The problem with Housesteads is there's no running water, so the latrines here were flushed entirely by rainwater collected in big tanks that was then left to run through. There's a channel in the floor for washing your hands, and it's written that the Romans would use a sponge on a stick, which may or may not have been kept in buckets of water, ready for use in the latrines. The commander's house would be the home to the commanding officer. He's probably the only Italian in the fort. It's built on a courtyard, which might seem a bit strange in northern Britain. The commanding officer has underfloor heating, he has his own kitchen, his own stables, he even has his own indoor toilet. The barracks are where the soldiers would live. They'd live in groups of 8 in each room in the barracks. The barracks are long and thin, and at one end the officer would live in the centurion's house. The soldiers in the fort would spend most of their time in the barracks. They would eat, sleep, they would do all their cooking. The granaries would be the storehouse for the fort. Not just grain would be stored here, but probably all of the food stuff. The Roman soldiers would draw their rations from the granary and take them away and cook them either in their barracks, or there was a communal bread oven for cooking bread while they were in the fort. If you go to any Roman fort, you will find the headquarters building in the middle, very easy to find. And it's the administrative headquarters. The clerks were here, they would be writing lists, issuing orders. There is a large hall where there's almost enough space for the entire garrison of the fort to come in and be addressed by the commanding officer from a little platform. It's quite possible that there would be a bust of the emperor there as well, so that the soldiers could see who their emperor was. Housesteads is unique as a Roman fort because almost the entire wall around the outside of the fort is visible. There's only a small piece under grass, and it would have been home to around 500 soldiers in Roman times. And it gives you a real flavour about what being posted to the northern frontier might have been like by looking out over the countryside it commands.